Okay, got some thin CA accelerator and some painter's tape. Usually give it about 15-20 seconds. While I'm at it, I might as well glue this in place too. I don't have to use activator on this though. I think that's got it. Let me put some on the back and spray it. Let it soak in a second. Give it a little help. Trying to push it in the seam. That's pretty good. Still have to set my Z0 and load up the file. So let's do the 0 first. Okay, the initial auto 0 is what I got to do first. Number 8. It's going to find my 0 here, subtract that 7. It'll find that, it'll come over and register here. So if you guys, yeah, you can see it. This way it'll record the settings for this bit. So if I was going to use a different bit, like I will be, I'll be using a 1/8 inch upcut bit. So when I switch, it'll come over here and retouch, and this way it'll know the difference between the length of the two bits. Now by all rights, if I went to Z0, if I did it right, let's do it. I got my finger on the stop in case it stabs into this. Okay, there it is. I mean, I don't think I could put any paper under there, that's for sure. But yeah, there's my 0. Now when I switch bits, it'll, when I call for a tool change in the software, it'll come over here and it'll stay here and wait for me to do a tool change, and then when I click OK, it'll come down, it'll measure the difference, offset it, and then the new bit will have its 0 recalculated. It works really good. Really simplifies things, because if you were to mill this whole surface where there was nothing, no Z0 left, it would be hard to find your hard to set your 0 height. Now there will be some areas we can double check it with when I do change bits. There should be some left over on the sides with the original height that I can move over and check it out. Okay, so the next thing is setting up the software. I'm going to bring the Z up Bring it up an inch. Take it back off step. Okay, let's go set up the software. Okay, it's a little hard for me. I don't have screen capture software on this computer. I may put it on here just for this reason. But here's our piece. Kind of hard to see. But that's all the tooling to cut past. There's quite a few there. It's going to take over an hour and a half, I think it was. It'll show down here in this bottom corner how much time has elapsed. I'm going to stop, rewind, turn my spindle on. Okay, X is 0, Y is 0, Z is +1. Let me turn my soft limits back on. Had those off when I was doing the maintenance. Okay, press cycle start after tool change. G54, yep. These are the machine coordinates over here, showing where I actually am, and these are the work coordinates. Okay, it's ready for cycle start, but I'm going to do it from the pendant over there. I think I'm going to change this to start off at 50 inches a minute. Start a little slow, make sure that everything's kosher. Got my spindle at 24,000. We'll leave that there. Okay, I'm going to go back over now. This is ready. Okay, everything should be ready. Make sure it's stuck. It's stuck good. I don't know if I'm going to turn the dust collection on. I can just hit it once in a while. I'm going to leave the dust shoe off so you can see what's going on. Once I start this though, the audio is going to be useless. You won't be able to hear me. And I'll have to turn it way down in the video and overlay some music. And probably put it in super fast forward. Okay, spindle's ready to go. Everything's good. I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to click stop. Start. I think I got safe Z. Oh, that's right, I forgot. It's going to redo the tool setting height. It prompts me to push go or start when I have the tool changed. So all I did in the beginning was record the height. Now it's going to see the length of bit that it doesn't know that I haven't changed the bit. That's if I canceled that M6 call, it wouldn't have did this. But then when I have to switch to my 1/8 inch bit, we wouldn't be going through this, and I'd have to do it manually. I'm going to start with slow feed. It's going to ramp up for 8 seconds. That's what I got the dwell set at, 7 or 8 seconds. If you can hear me, the initial start is a little rough because it has to plunge that bit all the way down. When you run finish cuts, there's no steps to it. It just takes it all in one pass because it assumes that you've done all the roughing passes prior to this, which I haven't. I skipped the roughing pass. So that's at 60 inches a minute. I'm going to kick it up a little bit at a time. go to 70 and then 80 and probably finish at 100. Increase 10. You can tell by the pitch, you can hear the difference in pitch of the stepper motors. That's a pretty heavy cut there. Those are the ones, the initial ones that I'm worried about. After that, it's pretty much shaving a quarter of a millimeter, which is about 10 thou. Okay, let's go to 90 or 80. finally done with the 3D CNC carving on all 4 pieces. Now, you've seen earlier that I made these 2 pieces here, and they're an upper and lower partition. This one will be, when you open the lid, you'll see this one, or vice versa, whichever one looks the best. And the other one will be for the bottom. They're 1/4 inch. The bottom one is going to actually help support the drawer as it slides through. So I want that bottom one pretty close to here. I'll give it a little bit of room, and then if I have to put maybe some felt runners across it, it'd be little pieces of felt across here for the drawer to push, slide in and out on. Wax them up a little bit and slide really easy. So I want the surface of the bottom slightly below, and when I figured out from this top edge to here, it's 4 5 5/8. So I want to allow a 1/16. The blade's kissing this top edge right now, so when you need to move this over, if I move it over 1/8, that's going to be the thickness of the blade, and then an extra 1/16 to give me a little bit of leeway. So now when I send this through, it's going to cut a dado to accept the bottom. Same thing with the top one. I have to locate that one. I only want to go about 1/8 inch deep, because you can see don't have much thickness here. And also, since this is a 1/4, I'm going to rabbet both of these edges a 1/16 back the depth of what I cut this dado to. So it'll be like a T that fits into a U shape, sort of like a tenon in a mortise. So I think I'm good with the depth. That's pretty good there. It's a bit nerve-wracking when you've invested so much time. You know, it took 2.5 hours to cut this one out. Just 2 hours 37 minutes, I think, and the back was 2 hours 30 minutes. There wasn't much difference, even though this had the drawer to deal with. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll let that go. I'm going to do the back one now. When you route this much material out of one side, these tend to cup a little bit, so I had it clamped down on my work table. Pretty much took most of it right out. It's not too bad now. Okay, just want to make sure I have this flipped the right direction. Looks good. And here's one of the sides. This one's pretty straight. And I want it in the bottom. Now, before I change anything, I'm going to go ahead and do the top partition location. And this should be, I should do this the same way. Come up on it. I'm going to start by cutting excess off. If I'm going to ruin one, I want it to be one of the small ones. Less cut time, less work, less material. That should make it. Okay, I'm going to nip away at it and see. I want my 45 to end right in the center of this highest part of the leg. Right here. I'm going to stay away from it a little bit first, and I'm pinching this awfully tight. Got my hands clear. Okay, you can see that I'm still about 3/16 away. Let's move a little closer. Like I say, I just want to creep up on this, trying to get it right. Okay, I think I'm going to do all the right cuts and then do the left cuts. Try to get closer on the first cut this time. If it took any off, it was very slight. I'm going to move it in just a hair more. Probably 64th. It's about the same as the other one now. Okay, now I can trim these up. They have the 45s on it. try to hold this different. My hands were too close to that blade. I was a bit uncomfortable. Cut the bottom side off, and I want to cut this to where I have these little feet. Kind of hard to see. I think you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, I want to keep this little bit off the bottom, so I want to come across, cut right here. Let's go 5 7/16. Little detail work's gonna look pretty good. But I want to go ahead and sand them before I put anything together. Sand all the inner surfaces. See if that holds. See if that's holding. Appears to be.